Welcome back, beautiful people. Three Amigos podcast here. Thank you to everybody who might have recently found us from the Godzilla episode.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, a bit of sad news. Famous, beloved actor Andre Braugher passed away, and we've unfortunately had to do episodes and wanted to do episodes, at least to honor people that have impacted our lives. We did one for Kevin Conroy, we did one for Bray Wyatt. And Anthony and Frankie, my two co-hosts here, are really big fans of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which I think is how a lot of people, at least recently, probably knew Andre
Yeah,
from. And you know, this was seemed like very sudden news. It seemed very sudden, um, with what happened to him. It sounded like he got really sick. And yeah, it really sucks. But I thought that the two of you might be nice if maybe just reminisce a little bit about what an amazing actor he was and what a great presence he brought to one of your guys' favorite shows. So, with all that being said, the floor is yours.
thanks, man. Appreciate the thought of us and wanting to do this. When the news broke yesterday, it really was a gut punch. Just like with Bray Wyatt this year. Lance Reddick sucked too. We lost Lance Reddick this year. Rest in peace to him. We lost a lot of great talent this year. But this one stung a lot because for the better part of close to a decade, Brooklyn Nine-Nine was a show that I feel like people um let go under the radar. Yeah, it got notoriety um here and there. Andy Samberg wound up winning, Golden Globe for his role as Jake Peralta. Um, but the show after that didn't really get much accolades, and the show wound up being canceled from Fox, being revived, uh, and brought back. Um, I remember I literally started watching it, I think at the hot. No, it wasn't during the pandemic. Um, I think it was like it was the same year I think it got canceled. I started watching, and then I was sad, and then because like, oh, well, that's it, I guess. And then immediately it got re picked up, and I'm just like, hooray, I get to enjoy this show for a bit more, I hope. And I did. I think we got 3 or 4 more seasons out of it with NBC. We got a total of 8 seasons. So yeah, it sounds about right. I think it was 4 on Fox, or it was 5 on Fox 3 with NBC. It doesn't matter. Point is, the show was beloved in the end. I think it's still beloved now, obviously. It's a very memeable show. I like it better than The Office. I think it's better than The Office. It's just got an array of characters that you love to love. You don't love to hate them. In other shows you love to hate because of how annoying they are, but in this show, man, you just love everybody. It's so goofy. And one of those characters you just loved was Captain Raymond Holt, uh, the character that Andre Brower was selected to take over and do to lead this squad of buffoons into comedy gold. And Andre was known just as a very dramatic actor. He's his roles of I can't remember the name of the character. I never watched it, but it was from basically the Law and Order universe. He was actually played 2 characters in the Law and Order universe. One of them was a detective named Frank from Homicide: Life on the Street. And another was a lawyer character. I can't remember in Law and Order series. I think specifically it was an SVU. Also, his first big major role was I'm pretty sure it was his first big major role was in Glory, alongside Denzel Washington, Morgan Freeman. Stacked movie from the late '80s, early '90s. Um, yeah, Glory, uh, Civil War movie. Fantastic. He was great in it. Um, yeah, and then this is, I feel like, the role that everyone's gonna remember him by. Obviously, it's his most recent work that everyone will remember him by because it just left such an impact. The character was so different and unique. He was a black gay man in the NYPD. This wasn't a serious show, but at times it could get serious, and the topics of race, identity, uh, a lot of things just came to mind and to this show to include comedy. The cast blended it so well with this when it came to the hard topics to do, and you had the great minds behind the scenes creating and writing this stuff, but you also had Andre Braugher just like leading the helm with his superior acting, a guy who could do it both. And that's all you're going to see right now with articles just praising him, how a guy who could literally do drama could also do fucking comedy, which is like something that's practically unheard of and almost, I guess, kind of like a sin in a way, because especially the way he was brought up. He's a graduate of Juilliard, a very serious school of the arts. Uh, and like he did Othello. Like he did Othello, I think, with Juilliard and a bunch of other serious like stage stuff. So it's just like it was just so random out of the casting that he was chosen and elected to do this, but it worked. He owned that character. It is his character forever, and it will never be replaced. Obviously, the show's over, but any reboots will be shunned and it will be demolished. The show can never be touched, can never be redone, don't want to ever be touched, um, because no one will ever live up to the potential of what the cast was, and especially what Andre brought to the table. Um, yeah, it's just it's sad. It's really sad. I feel for his wife and his three kids, who I'm sure are even more devastated than we are. But it just felt like we had our own Captain Dad, rooting for us on the way and teaching us, even though he was such a robot. But that was part of the flair and part of the joke of the show is that he didn't show much emotions because of who he was and how he was brought up. But that made the show even more funnier. And yeah, I'm gonna miss him, and it just sucks because we were robbed of him being able to debut on Broadway. He was working on a Broadway show, but because of the pandemic, production halted, and I don't think the show ever got off the ground again. So, I was once I heard about that, he was gonna getting ready for a Broadway show post Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I was looking forward to the show and wanted to check it out once it was out, but unfortunately, it's one of the many things the pandemic robbed from us was potential of shows and the arts. But we don't. I'm not gonna linger on that too much, and I'm just gonna remember the good times and the good things that Andre brought to us in our screens, and big and small. Yeah. This sucks.
What about you,
Yeah,
Anthony? How are you, dude? It sounded like this hit you pretty hard, man.
I think the reason why it did, well, a number of reasons, but the main reason why it did, I think, is because of all the loss this year alone. So it kind of just, piles up on itself. Um, yeah, like so I remember I started watching the show when I was still in college, and I remember I recommended it to Frankie, and then I like kind of stepped away for a while, and then Frankie like really loved it and kind of, I kind of got back into it
All right,
eventually.
we're gonna fight about this because I swear to God, I recommended it to you. You never recommended it to me.
No, I
Not,
did, and I
especially
was,
not in
and you,
college. Especially not in
yeah,
college. Definitely not
because
in college.
I
Because you barely
when
talked to
I'm
us in college. And
really,
Chris can attest to that because we
but
tried
I
to get you
remember
to talk to us. We didn't want to hear you for months.
I recommended the show and I stopped watching it, and then you kept telling me how good it was and how it got better and better, and I went back into it. Um, as bad as my memory is, I remember that vividly. But anyway, um, as Frankie said earlier, it's a very memeable show. Even before the news, like we still send memes to each other about the show. Um, just of random scenes that we remember from the show. Um, yeah, I don't even know what to say, man. I don't know what to say.
Well, I just
Uh,
think that I think it's important to talk about this kind of stuff when it affects, obviously, like Frankie said, his family is clearly the most devastated. But Brooklyn Nine-Nine and several of the other projects that he's been in over the years touched a lot of people. And um, Brooklyn Nine-Nine specifically had such a crazy life on television,
Mhm.
between getting canceled and revived and winning awards, and just went through a lot. And I, I I thought it was just a fascinating, like small joke in itself, or small bit of comedy, that they hired a straight guy to play a gay guy while having to be the straight man in the show
Mhm.
from a comedic standpoint, while everybody else around him is being a total goofball. And yeah, I mean, these celebrity deaths, it's weird, man. Sometimes they hit you, and sometimes you feel nothing really, which I think is just part of the, I don't know, fascinating aspect of this. Like, you don't know these people. You don't. They never knew
Mhm.
you. They never knew any of us existed. But it doesn't change the fact that, they have an impact on your life, and a lot of their work can be tied to specific memories that you might have. Especially the happy ones. And so when these things happen, especially as suddenly as they do, and he was a young guy, I mean, he was barely 60. Um, it's weird, and sometimes we can kind of prepare ourselves for it if somebody we're a fan of is, getting up there. Um, and nothing lasts forever. But when it happens, at least in my opinion, pretty early on, it can be devastating. It can be a total gut punch. And it's a good thing to talk about.
Yeah.
Did you guys have any specific Captain Holt moments from the show that you really hold near and dear?
Man, what I hold a lot.
I was thinking about one in particular where he had to give a speech for one of the captain's funerals. And he's like, "This is what my speech says." And he goes, "Pain." And that's all he had was just
That's it.
um
I mean, let's not forget just all the quips he had for Wunsch is just a list in itself. It's like, if you're here, who's guarding
who's guarding
Haiti?
Hades?
It's like, referring her to a three-headed dog. Like, come on. And then like, how'd you get out of the under from under the house in Munchkin's town, referring to her as a witch from The Wizard of Oz? Like, come on. Like, the quips were incredible.
And she was like, "Sticks and stones, Raymond, describing your breakfast."
It was just the quips were incredible. The writing for him was just phenomenal. And the best part, he would say it with a straight face. With a straight face. And you need to watch, Chris. Just so you know the love. Or at least if you don't want to watch the show, just watch Captain Holt moments because they're phenomenal. I mean, the whole
Lunchtime
show
is
itself.
over.
Yeah. I think my favorite one quip is like but not even a quip. Once she his rival dies in this show, he just starts celebrating and throwing bagels. That's one of our
Ding
favorite.
dong, the lunch is dead. Bagel!
Bagel, bagel.
Bagel!
He just keeps saying bagel, bagel. It's phenomenal.
Oh, man.
Man, I'm gonna miss the shit out of that guy. I really wish he would have done it in a comedy
Oh,
too.
I got one where when Jake and spoilers for those who don't watch the show, when Jake and Rosa were in prison and Rosa wanted Terry or Holt to drive her
Mhm.
motorcycle around so it's not sitting there, and he's trying to get Terry to do the motor to drive it because he has more of a motorcycle like lifestyle. He goes, "I have like 3 kids. I'm not risking it." Because are you saying because I don't conform to the heterosexual lifestyle that my life matters less? And he's like, "Are you playing the gay card right now?" Yes,
That's
queen.
yep. My another favorite one was like he was like giving advice to Terry about how to deal with Rosa in jail and stuff. So he was just like Rosa, and he just kept saying her name over and over again and touched like the glass, like Rosa, Rosa.
We're here for you, Rosa. Whatever you need, Rosa. We got your back, Rosa.
um, anything with Cheddar, my big fluffy boy. Whenever he
Yeah.
broke actual like stop being serious, Captain Hall is just was phenomenal because it was a special treat. The full
Oh, you
bullpen.
remember the judge that they're trying to get to sign something and he tries to like seduce her and she like
Was it
answers
the
it.
judge or was it like the reception? He was like, "What's up?
No, it was the judge. Yeah. And he was like, you gotta do what you gotta do. Captain Raymond Holt, what's up?
What's up?" When he pretends to be straight. Oh my God, when he pretends to be straight, nothing satisfies me more than the curves of a woman. He describes
And
trying to
her
be.
big heavy breasts.
Yes.
And the
Ah,
slut pineapple t-shirt.
yeah. When he didn't get the job as commissioner. At least with the character of Raymond Holt too, he strived a lot to change policing for the better, to be more inclusive and to be community oriented rather than trying to be, I guess the word would be punitive and trying to punish people. Uh, so Captain Raymond Holt was a real one. Man, even the NYPD shouted him out, which is kind of crazy. And the NYPD are, I mean, I feel like, no offense to all, and I know all cops aren't bad, but it's the institutions that don't hold them accountable that suck. And that's a lot of them. Uh, but I found it hilarious that the NYPD had to recognize a real one because I don't know if they have a real one in their ranks that would want to strive to do what Colt did, but I hope so. And I hope he inspired someone out there.
I
Um,
remembered like Frankie sends me this random Xbox commercial and it had Andre Bauer in the commercial just like in a
yeah,
nice like living room, comfortable chair, all very like fancy and talking about Xbox and Game Pass and I'm like, what the fuck?
yeah, it was so random, but that's the magic of fucking Andre Braugher. Just could just give him anything. He should have done a lot more.
Even even when he like in most situations he keeps his voice at the same tone, even if he's like laughing or like not laughing, like the dog show thing, like
Hmm.
a bold
Mhm.
personality. We know what that means. She's a bitch.
Oh, remember the pill one too? Pop pop.
Everyone hide your pills.
How's your pills? That was when he got demoted to the rank of beat cop because of Wunsch. And so they had a replacement captain, and he was very jealous. So he started a rumor that weren't true.
I hear she's a pill popper. But the pop pop, that's
Pop pop.
oh
It's so
man.
much, so much. And most recently, the one I just sent was him freaking the fuck out over just the butt of the joke was just fucking dentistry and PhD, and whether it's doctoral or not, doctor and shit. The butt of the joke was so stupid and it was hilarious. Only he could do that. Only someone of his caliber could do that. The
You
cutaway.
know, I'm I'm just browsing through his Wikipedia because it's always fun sometimes. You go
Mhm.
through like an actor that you're a fan of, and you scroll through things they've been in, and you're like, oh shit, I had no idea they were in that thing that I remember watching.
Mhm.
And he's got a lot of fun ones on here that I wanted to mention just because they end up falling into other categories that we talk about a lot on the
Yeah.
show. Um, he played Darkseid in the animated Superman Batman Apocalypse movie from
Oh yeah.
2010. Um, Fantastic casting. He
Bro,
has a
holy shit.
has a great voice
Mm.
for Darkseid. I mean, there's so many TV listings here. Another one that I found was the Adventures of Jackie Chan, which
No
is
fucking way.
a
He was.
phenomenal show.
Yeah. What the hell? He was in that. That's incredible.
He played a character named Dirge, which I'd be lying if I said I remembered that well.
All right. Let's see.
But he was in a three episodes, so it was a recurring character. And then there's one that really caught my eye here because I feel like Frankie has to have known this if he's seen both shows. But it says that he appeared in an episode of New Girl as Captain Raymond Holt.
Oh yeah, yeah. He did. It was a crossover.
There's a crossover. That's so cool.
It
Ah,
was a
man, I
random
miss when
silly
shows used to
crossover.
do that.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Do they have other characters from Brooklyn Nine-Nine on that show, or was it just him?
It was just, oh yeah, Peralta. They like it was during so it was like it was like when they did the crossover. It's like it like when they were like in the same half hour. It's like time slot. Like one was at 7, the other one was like at 7:30.
Hmm.
So it was on Fox. I think it was first Brooklyn Nine-Nine, then New Girl. So it first was like the episode it was of Jake commandeering a car by the main character Jess in New York. And then and then and then he takes a car, crashes it, and then in the next episode, um, in the next time slot, it's actually New Girl, and then it's like taken off from her to having used a car, so it's like her in like the police station of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, meeting
Ah,
Gina, and then it's her meeting Captain Raymond Holt.
Oh wow.
that's really cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
There's also a really great joke from the scene where he borrows her car and he's like, "Oh, I'm a cop. Like, if you're a cop, name one law: don't kill anyone." She goes, "Yeah, that's not me. I set the bar too low."
Yeah, that's one of the most popular memes out there. Yeah.
oh.
Ah,
Yeah, I thought it'd be fun to shout out some of the other stuff that he's done over the years. Everybody, a large majority of people our age undoubtedly know him from Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But
mhm.
um, yeah, man, this guy's Wikipedia, IMDb is crazy. He did a character in the show that was on Fox for a little bit called Axe Cop. Um,
Huh.
he was in episodes of House back in the day. If anybody who listens to us remembers that show, it's a little bit on the older side. Um, yeah, he was in a ton of Broadway shows, well, theater,
Yeah.
um, different theater shows, Hamlet,
Oh,
like
he
you
was in
mentioned, Henry
BoJack
the Third.
Horseman.
Yeah, he was in a BoJack Horseman episode.
Nice.
Um, yeah, he's won a ton of awards over the years. I can't even add this up. There's got to be like 60 nominations
Hmm.
for tons of different things. I mean, oh my God, he was nominated for like a shitload of Brooklyn Nine-Nine awards,
Yeah.
and he won two of them,
Oh, good.
which is pretty cool to see. Yeah, it's always unfortunate when we lose someone so young, but he had one hell of a career, and listening to you two, it sounds like he had quite an impact. You guys have a lot of really, really fun memories around him.
Yeah. Um, he made me smile, made me happy. That whole show made me happy, but I'd be lying if I didn't have a special place in my heart for all of them, but at least there's just one little shrine for Captain Raymond Holt and for what he did. And Terry, because Terry loves yogurt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
times like this, I feel for the cast of the show, especially a show like that. It seemed like
they
they
had
were
a
all
long
pretty
run.
close,
Yeah.
and probably felt like a family. So it's a really big blow. And I mean, it sounds very cliche, but around the holidays, I think this stuff usually hits even harder, as if it
Sure.
wasn't already devastating enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, do you guys have any final memories you want to get out about Captain Holt, Andre Brower? Um, and I'll let you two wrap things up.
No, but I think it'd be appropriate if me and Ant just shouted out the only thing we know how to shout out in a time like this in honor of the show and honor of um Andre Brower. So, Ant, you reading my thoughts, hopefully?
Yep.
All right. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. 9, 9.
9-9.
Hell yeah.